Hey, this is Glendon Cameron, founder of Hustlers Kung Fu, all about making that money while the job. Today, we're going to talk about something really, really special, something that's all over the place. How to create online courses for fun and profit. But there's a few things that you should understand before you begin creating your course. Now, with that, hold on a second. Let me get rid of that ad. Let's talk about the most important thing. That will be audience. Hands down, number one thing. Make sure my lighting is on point. It's the most important thing. Now, there's a few reasons that I'm doing this. And just to put this out really early, everyone that buys the Never Broke Action Pack during this stream will get $450 off of the new e-commerce course that is coming early 2017. So with that, let's jump into it. I'm going to give you some of my course creation secrets. Ooh, mysterious, right? Well, I created my first online course in 2010. It was an expanded version of my first book, Making Money A to Z with Self-Storage Unit Auctions. Well, I learned a lot from 2010 up to 2016. I went out and put up a flare last week on a course that I was thinking about, name I was thinking about, and I just threw it out there. And I put a timetable on it, and very few people bought this course. And this is something that's going to happen. I don't care how good you are. And I put it out there, and I had a magic number. Now, the magic number is for people who, let me explain that better because I'm getting ready to go way to the left. Essentially, my magic number is a number that if I hit that number, the course will do well. If I don't hit that number, the course doesn't do well. Typically, this happens within the first 72 hours. I get a good read on how this course is going to do. And the name of the course was Inbound Millions, and it didn't even get to half of my magic number. So I knew it was going to be a turkey in regards to conversions. Now, here's the kicker. Doesn't matter if the course is good or not. I know you're going like, whoa, the course should be everything. It's like, well, no. Here's the thing. The more people that buy in earlier, the better job of messaging that you do. If your course is great, but your messaging is off, it's not going to sell. If your course is horrible, but your messaging is on point, it will sell and people will leave good reviews. It's the weirdest thing I've seen in my last 6 years of doing this. So I got from my internal metrics, you'll have to build out your own as you create courses and stuff, and I can teach you how to do that. But typically, if you don't get that stuff done correctly in the first few weeks, it's just, I don't care how much money you throw at it. I don't care if you throw paid traffic at it. I don't care if you spend $1 million. You'll get conversions because you're spending so much, but will the conversions recover your initial investment? I see people who do this all the time. And it gets to be really interesting. Hold on a second. Ooh. For those of you who are wondering what's in that cup, it is chamomile tea, lime juice, and cayenne pepper. It keeps all this stuff clear, but whoa, it's really nasty. Now, with putting together your audience, because I've been having many conversations with people. I have created courses where I spent months and months creating a course, right? And I have seen that course not do well. I've had courses that I've put together in a week that have made me a lot of money. So how long it takes to put the course together and how well it do are irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's all over the map. Not saying you shouldn't put your all into your course, but typically it's about results. And you have to understand how people consume information. You have to understand that when you create a course, like let's go ahead and say with, use the iPhone. The iPhone isn't for everybody, but there is enough of an audience that likes this iPhone. There are some people who are team Android. There are some people who are team Google. But there's a core group of people that this phone, just the way it is, it works. And then there's another segment that will take this phone, they will jailbreak it and do other stuff to it. But typically, the audience for this phone is sufficient for Apple to meet its projections and profits and so on forth. That's how important the audience is. Now, when you're creating your course, I'm going to give you a few examples of what I see people doing wrong. They will do what I call the guy in the bar syndrome. You'll see this, and if you go out, you'll see this. You'll see this guy, and he'll spot this woman that's very attractive to him, and he'll walk over and he'll pitch, and he will ignore certain things. I saw this not too long ago. Guy approaches the girl. She's clearly not interested. She's not faking resistance or playing hard to catch or hard to get. No. Her knees are turned toward the bar, her shoulders. I mean, she's just like, get the hell away from me. Now, this guy who is really poor with social intelligence, he just keeps going on. He keeps going on. He keeps on. And she's just like, no. Then she just gets up and leaves. And he just has this bewildered look on his face. But this is the thing. There was a girl in the corner that when he was doing his man walk over there, who was looking at him with desire in her eyes. And actually, she was hotter than the girl he had paid all this attention. But because he went over and presented himself as a jerk, the girl who thought he was hot was turned off. So he lost both opportunities. This is what a lot of people do with their courses. They're like, it's going to work. No means yes. Yes means yes. And they just keep going and keep going and keep going. When clearly early on in the process, this thing isn't working. And that's why I pulled the course. And I had a lot of people who emailed me, and it was like I was going to buy it today. And the thing is, maybe they were. Maybe they were. I had a few people, I just screenshotted them the refunds because it was like, it's not reflecting in my credit card bank statement. Typically, it comes off your credit card or your debit card like that. It's gotten faster. I bought some stuff from Macy's and I returned it. And I swear, it like the next day that credit was back on my credit card. But typically you're looking at 1 to 3 days. And then a lot of people were, saying things, and I got these long emails and people were just talking. But see, here's the thing. It was presented and they didn't buy. And I'm a student of action. Action is the greatest truth there is, right? So I look at what you do. I'm like, I'm appreciative of the emails, thanks, but I'm not going to redo that program because there was something wrong with it. There was clearly something wrong with it. And it wasn't going to scale the way that I wanted to. Sure, I made, a little money, but that's not my goal, because typically, and this is what I've seen with a lot of my courses, is the earlier that they convert, the longer that they convert. Meaning, like, let's take the Never Broke Action Pack. Like, once again, if you get the Never Broke Action Pack, I'm going to give you $450 off of the new e-commerce course. Now, why would they make any sense? The expectation is you do the e-commerce course, you're going to make a lot of money. You need to learn how to handle your money. So that is a sequence that makes sense. Also, since I'm on that point, when you're creating courses and you're giving away freebies that have nothing to do with the core option, they typically will take the freebies. I will say, worst mistake I have made since I started doing this was early part when I was giving away a lot of high value stuff away for free. Built a really shitty list. Conversions went down. Email open rates went down. And here's the thing. I was giving away killer information, great information, effective stuff. People were seeing all kinds of gains. They were making changes. And the needle was going down. because I had too many people who were not taking action. And then this is the way all of these platforms work. This is the way YouTube works. This is the way Facebook works. This is the way your email client works. If you have a bunch of people who are in your queue who don't take action, who are not engaged, it's going to hurt you. And this is probably the worst it's ever been since I've been doing this, but it kind of blew my mind. Hold on a second. I need another swig of this. That's right. All kinds of gains out the ass. And you have to pay attention to these social signals. You really do, because if you don't, it's nothing but disaster. It's like you're driving, there's a cliff, and you're like, nah, that's not a cliff, but really, it's a cliff. So with that, let's get into the chat room. What's up, Lamode? What's up, Shalise? Oliver. Welcome, Oliver L. I don't know what your last name is. That's kind of crazy. What's up? What's up, Charlton? What's up, D? What's up, Diana? What's up, Benjamin? What's up, Cody? What's up, King Flip? I try to get here, but work odd hours right now, so I have a break. King Flip. So is organic growth the best way to go, or you should take growth whatever way you can get it? I'm going to address that in a minute. I'm talking about growth in my ecosystem. See, here's the thing. I don't use, for the last 2 months, I haven't been using any paid traffic because here's the thing. Organic growth, in my opinion, many people will disagree with me because many people will flesh out their funnel with paid traffic, but I think you should have enough of an organic base for you to test things before you throw paid traffic at it. Because here's the thing, going back to walking man in the bar, I don't care, well, maybe if he threw $1 million on the counter, maybe she would have paid attention to him, so you can't say that. But typically, if your product or offering is flawed, regardless of how much money you throw at it, it's just not going to convert well. Because you're throwing more money at it, you're getting more exposure, it'll convert, but it's just not going to convert as well as it could if you had went in and, as someone once said, you worked out all the uglies. Because typically when I put that out there and I saw how few people bought, I said something's wrong. And it is better to piss off a few people, and I had a few people who were pissed even though they got their money back, to piss off a few people than to invest a lot of time in this stuff. Because for those of you who are new, I've almost, I got sick and literally I almost died one night. Booty call saved my life. The video is on this channel. It's literally pussy saved my life. It's the strangest thing. And I have to be really aware of that. So sometimes if there's a thing that I want to do, I'll do it because I know it's not going to convert well, but I know it's just something I want to do. That's rare because typically if you're going to run a business, there's emotional decisions, and usually those are emotional decisions like, hey, I'm just going to do this. I've written a few books I knew that weren't going to do well because I wanted to write them, which is cool. But most of my decisions are made by the numbers. Most of my decisions are made by what you guys respond to, what you guys don't respond to. And when I started to really pay attention to those signals, my money went up. Now, I want you to think about this. There's some people who may never ever buy another product from me again because I canceled that program and refunded their money. Fine. But the time that I would have wasted on that, I couldn't get that back. So instead of investing that time, which was going to be early this week, I'm working on other stuff. So that's some other things. Oh man, let's see. We got all kinds of new folks here. What's up, JWB? Issy, what's up? Sim Land, hello from East. How did you find out about this, Sim? I agree with having purely organic traffic starting out. See, this is the big thing. Many people will create a course and then they'll be in that space I just talked about where you don't know if it's going to convert or not. Now you've built out this platform. You have all of this stuff going, right? Where you got to go. You're also kind of wedded to. You're also married to the content. You've invested all of this time, all of this effort, so it's really hard for you to get off that horse and get on another one. And you're also using paid traffic. I've seen people go through 6,000, 10,000. I have one guy who was just so sure that his thing was going to work that he bought $2,500 course and he went through 15 grand in Facebook ads. And then it didn't work. So he was out almost $20,000, and he had knowledge. So I'm not going to say it was completely worthless, but he didn't have any money to go forward. So he had to give it up. And because he was, I think if he had probably another 40 grand, he probably would have figured it out. But see, that's the thing with paid traffic. And I'm just going to give you the difference between organic traffic. And I'm going to go way, way back. And this is something that I noticed from my Craigslist days. I used to throw people on my Craigslist. Like, you can't do that shit now. It's totally illegal. But I used to, every time someone emailed me about an item, I put them on my email list. And I started, I send out an email every week. Hey, this is this week's specials, right? So this list that I just threw random people on it, I had open rates of 70 to 90%. And I just threw people on it. But this was like 2002, right? So I also dabbled in paid traffic back then, and I also got off of it because it was so expensive. And I know this because, in your dashboard, you'll see how long people are on your site. So the people that I directed to those offers from Craigslist that I just threw on the list spend 8 to 15 minutes on the site. So if you ever had a website and you've got people who are spending 8 to 15 minutes on your website, that's really, really helpful. Now, the people that was spending a lot of money, like $1 or $2 per click, were spending 30 seconds to a minute and a half on the website. So part of the problem was these people weren't dialed in. That was a huge, huge problem. They were not dialed in. But if you're spending to dial people in and you're not making any money, it's a very good way to go broke. eBay, yo clock eBay. What's a good way to sell old black and white photos, separate or as a lot? Separate. See, this is the thing with photos. Someone may want one photo really, really bad. Odd photos, weird photos, unusual photos can sell for a lot of money. But if you go ahead and put them into a bundle, what they're going to do is lowball you so they can get what they want, then sell the rest to cover their cost. So by selling them separate, you avoid all that. Okay, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. Thank you, Sim. What's up, KK? King Flip, my homeboy has a list like that where he literally blasts his entire phone book, all types of random stuff from real estate to cars for sale. I did that for years and made a lot of money from that list. But you can't do that anymore. Pauline, please discuss the correlation between a free ebook and conversion to a full paid course. Or you mean, Now, if you're talking about my first course, it wasn't a free ebook. I believe the ebook at the time was $29.99. This is why I created my first course, which is kind of crazy. I saw someone on YouTube ask a question that was covered in the book. And it drove me kind of crazy, right? I was just like, wait a minute, that's in the book. Why is this person asking this question when that's covered, right? No, that led me to create the first course. So this is what I did. I looked on the YouTube. Now, all of this was internal stuff. First thing that I did, and let's just start at the beginning. I created an audience here on YouTube. I came on YouTube and I did some research. I saw there was Dan Dotson. If you're a reseller and you're looking for some really solid advice, go to Terminal 99. Just he has phenomenal information on his channel. He was around. Some other people were around. was like 33 reseller type channels. And I was just like, oh. So it came in and I started putting out content. Immediately started an email list. And then I put the book, dropped the book, made money. Then I noticed that people were not really reading the book. So I created a course, and people who did not read the first book actually bought the course, because the course, I answered questions and stuff, and that was more appealing. And then I had someone say, hey, I got your storage auction book. I wish the section on Craigslist was bigger. So I wrote pimping Craigslist for, fun, pimping Craigslist for fun and profit. So by delving in and developing an audience and, talking like this, doing feedback and stuff, I created additional products and made a lot of money from the same audience. And this is something I was trying to put out to some people. But for many people, I'll give you what's called the lead magnet. You put out something to get people on your email list, and you get them on your email list, and then you develop a relationship. This is called warming up cold traffic. What I have found year after year after year is email conversions going down. Now, once again, I was throwing people on my email list and had crazy conversions. So what happened? And it's becoming more crowded. People are on everyone's emails. People are overloaded with emails. Sometimes, recently, I went through and unsubscribed from a ton of lists because the information just wasn't helpful. It was 3 sequence, 5 sequence, 7 sequence emails designed to get me to buy something that I didn't need. So I just came out of there. But with the free ebook, what you can do is it gives you a reason to get someone's email address. Now, with the free lead magnet, there are some people who've had crazy success with it. All audiences do not perform the same. So let's say you're talking to someone who's interested in basket weaving, right? That's going to be way different than someone who is interested in making money. It's just going to be a totally different response. You can get away with more stuff. There's things that you can do. So lead magnets or freebies work differently for different audiences. They don't work the same. For my niche, how to make money, how to build businesses, people are kind of beat over the head with that stuff. So that's one of the reasons that I don't do that anymore. But if you have a good audience, you could put out an ebook. Doesn't have to be that big. It could be like a report. It could be like 20 pages. And then get them on your email address, get their email address, put them on your list, then start email marketing or content marketing. What I'm doing is called inbound marketing. Currently, I'm only using my email list is to let people know that, hey, I have a live stream. That's it. I'm not selling on the email list. And what happens is people come here, folks who are subscribed to the channel, they come into the marketing and they make decisions to respond. It's kind of like direct response, but there's direct marketing where you're pushing out on email. To a degree, I'm doing this, but see, this is the difference with this YouTube thing. I'll get so many people who will show up during the live stream. Then after the live stream, I'll get more people, and I'll get more people, and I'll get people for weeks and weeks and weeks. Once I send you an email, it's a wrap. It's a total wrap. It's done, right? So with content, with inbound marketing and creating products that people are, content that people are looking for, your shelf life is ridiculously long compared to an email. This is why, with emails, you have to email so often. Used to be you could get away with 1 email a week, but people are just bombarded with information. So you got to do some stuff to separate yourself. Then after you've built up the email list and you have a sequence and you work out the uglies and you work on the messaging, then you offer a paid course. So that's what a lot of people do. I'm not doing that. My new email list is pretty much comprised of people who bought products already. So it's a paid email list. I don't have any freebies right now. Why don't you do what anymore? I don't get it. I'm great, Lawrence. I don't know anything about notary. Only time I needed a notary is when I had to sign contracts or had to sue somebody. That's it. I don't know how that works. I have no opinion one way or another. T-Chess, what type of format would you recommend using to get customers of Medicare age around 65? Are they going to read blogs or watch YouTube? Here's some for that demographic. If I had a product for people who were 65, I would do direct mail. I would do print advertising. I would advertise on television late at night. I would advertise the television during the day when the rates are low. That demographic still reads newspapers. They still consume things, and they like getting mail. So I would send, direct mail. YouTube, I don't know. I don't really have that many people in that demographic watching this channel. I don't know how that skews, but I do know that whenever I was selling to older people, that stuff worked. It just really, really worked. So that's how I would get up to them. Now, with creating an audience, you got to find it, and then you've got to learn the lingo. Let's see. One of the reasons, like, I think that the inbound marketing thing really did not resonate well is many people see that as an unnecessary step. Whereas I did a really bad job of pushing how important that step is. Send group texts and messages to your customers. I just started email again. I'll send an email to the streams. Why did I pull away from email marketing? Number one reason, it's effective. It's still very effective. I'm not going to mislead you and say it's not, but it's just not as effective as I would like it to be. Typically, I build a bad list. So that's a big part of it, because if you have a bad list, I don't care how good your content is. I don't care how good your emails is. The list is, how can I explain this? It's like you're in a relationship with someone that doesn't love you. I don't care how good you are to them. It really is just not going to be as good as it could be if they were in love with you. So if you have a list, and what I call a bad list or a shitty list, they're not engaged, they really don't like you, and that's not everyone on the list. It's just a huge component of the list that makes a difference. So that's where I was, because I grew a list really quick. I mean, I got to thousands of people in a few months, but as I like to say, you can't do the right things with the wrong people. And it was just, it's like I looked at it. I mean, I went over this for months and it just didn't get any better. And I said, you know what? Just get rid of it, start all over. And before I did that, I figured out another pony, live streaming here, that worked very well, where I could make money without an email list. That was real important that I had to get that, because even though the list was bad, it still made money, but it did not make the kind of money I wanted. I was paying a lot of money to host those emails. A lot of them weren't being open, and I was just like, start over. What do you suggest for a men's clothing site? If I was selling men's clothing, I would, if I wasn't physically GQ smooth, I would hire someone who was GQ smooth. I would hire the handsomest or the prettiest girl I could find with the best body that displayed my clothing, and I would plaster it all over everywhere. That's how you sell clothes. Articles, I don't think sell clothes. I think images do. I saw the Gumroad video did. I'm also doing research on Udemy. That costs a fire song. My personal recommendation is Udemy it's possible to make a lot of money on Udemy, but you need a traffic source. This is supposedly the big draw of Udemy. You put your courses there, they have all these customers, and if you play their game, you can make money. And their game is low prices, and their game is a lot of free courses. So if you put a course on there and then you put it free, and it pushes it up in the Udemy algorithm where they start recommending your course. Then once it's get this push of free, then you put a price on it and you're supposed to make all this money. My problem with that is you are building your course to suit Udemy's algorithms and Udemy's ways versus building courses that actually serve people. because once you create your first course and you put all that time in it, you really don't want to sell it for 15 bucks. But for Udemy, you need to. And then they have all these other things like course has to be so long. Your videos, there's just a lot of stuff that get on my nerves. So you can make money on Udemy, but it's not my preference, and it's some I personally no longer do. Lamode, I have a following on Instagram of 800, only sold to one person from an ad. What do you think? Udemy, Instagram's crowded, man. You got to do something different. You're probably going to have to use Facebook and paid traffic. Daniel Thompson, you do not know what you don't know. That's true. Jill Davis, what do you think about private label prepaid wireless services? Good for passive income with low overhead? I know nothing about that. I have no opinion one way. This is me. If I don't know about it, I don't know how it works, I don't know the angle, I'm just not going to talk about it because I didn't even know that was a thing until you mentioned it. T. Leah Osborne, my accounting job ended and I want to offer my accounting service to others. What do you suggest I do to get clients? Start with your friends. Start with, I don't know, do you sign an incomplete, find out customers that you had a really good relationship with and said, look, I'm no longer with the company, and if you still need the services, I could do X. I mean, there's a lot of ways to shave that poodle. David Boyd, do people just stick to the free courses on Udemy? Do they follow from the free courses to the paid courses at a high rate? My experience was this. People who do free courses typically don't take the course. So this is real important. If you have a course, some people just like, hey, I mean, I'm guilty of it, and this is something I stopped. You'll get the course, but because there's no investment, you'll forget about it. So it's very hard for someone who didn't take the course to appreciate your genius and move forward to something that's paid. So for me, this is just my opinion, just my experience. It didn't really convert that well. And for the experiment I did at the beginning of the year, I was offering a lot of high value content for free, and my email conversion rate went down. My sell-through rate went down. So I think that free can be powerful if you've got the right angle, but if you do free wrong, it'll cost you your shirt off your back. So I don't really think for me, they didn't really convert to the higher paid courses or the paid courses at all. Just been my experience. I can do both. I need you. See, all you gotta do, if you were going, take T. Leah Osborne, go on your Facebook page and say, hey, I wouldn't put out that I was unemployed. I would say, recently I have a lot of free time, and anyone that needs help with taxes or accounting, PM me. Do not try to sell on the page. Do not put stuff in there, because that will bring out all the trolls who are just like, no, you can't make money on Facebook. I will prevent you. And see what happens. James Scott, amen to that. T. Lee, I'm available. David Boyd, do you like Fiverr? I made money with voiceovers, editing articles, and writing press releases. They're trying to bootstrap my other businesses. Maybe you can help out of the work account. It could be. I use Fiverr for small stuff, but one of the things that I did, since I have to create so much content and I have to use so many images, I create a system, because Fiverr is like this. There's some great people on Fiverr, right? But you don't know who you're going to get. So typically whenever I would do a project, I would hire 3 at the same time and give them the same thing. And usually there was going to be one that was going to be like way better than the other 2. And just, since it was so economical, I would just look at the cost of doing business. That's kind of one of the things I don't like about Fiverr. Another thing is, when you find someone who's really good, typically they're not on Fiverr long, because they get other business and they start scaling it up. I've been having tax issues with my current employer. Maybe connect. I mean, seriously, typically putting out there what you do can get you some juice. It can get some things going. Now, another thing about audience is a small engaged audience will make you way more money than a big lukewarm audience. Going back to why I got rid of my list. There were some people, and a lot of you are still here, who are diehards. You know, every email I put out, they read every email. If I was doing the stream, they showed up. If they didn't show up live, they watched it the after stream. And that's a really good group to have, because you can have a list of 500 people like that and make more money than if you got a list of 10,000 people who just kind of there. I've done that before. So it's really the engagement, the communication, the relationship you develop is super, super important with your audience. D-Ro, I love Fiverr as a graphic artist, independent. D-Ro, since you were on Fiverr on the other side, why did you leave Fiverr, and what was your experience? Because see, this back and forth. One of the best things I did this year was to put my phone number on the channel, and I talked to damn near 400 people. I lost track of how many people, and I made a lot of money because I would close. If I talked to 4 people, I would close 3. But the other problem of that, which I've never talked about, was I was getting business so fast, I didn't have a back end for it. That was the crazy part. I was getting people in, but I didn't have a back end. 2, there was a mixed match of expectations. And I learned a lot, because I'm going to do it again next year, but it's going to be totally different. Very, very different. But to find out your audience, you need to do this kind of stuff. This is going to help you, because I think there's like 50 some people here, and we're having this conversation. There's some people way more engaged than others, but from these conversations, I'm getting very important stuff, because I released the Never Broke Action Pack during a live stream, and it's the best performing set of bundle that I've ever put out. It's the best performing one, because one, and this is about audience, everybody can use guidance on how to manage their money better. Everybody wants more money. Everyone wants to learn how to manage their money better, fix their credit, or make their credit better. And see, this is another thing. Let's say you're rocking a 760. There's so many ways to fix your credit, or I should say enhance, because it's already good. But if you can enhance it, you can walk into a bank next year and get $1 million loan if you know what to do. So there's a lot of stuff that's there. Let's see. Yes, sir. Get it done. I will. Let's see. Hold on. I got someone. Get rid of them. Go away. All right. How would you go about selling a digital sewing pattern? Once again, audience. I wouldn't try to sell a pattern. I would try to find the biggest group of people who sew. I would go wherever they are. If they're on YouTube, create a YouTube channel. If it's a blog, create a blog. Excuse me. Arts and crafts. I would find those people, and I would become immersed in that community. Because, all right, think about it. Okay, you've got this digital sewing pattern, right? And you throw it up on the internet. Who gives a shit? They don't know you. They don't care about you. But if you were Patrice, Patrice 876, and you were in one of those forums, and you had one of those heavy contributor stars or whatever, and then you were like, hey, I can't my first sewing pattern, people gobble it up, because 1, they know you. 2, you're part of the community. 3, is you're an authority. So those type of things. D-Ro, on the back end, I can command more. Some customers on Fiverr expect to get top quality for a low price. Yeah, that's kind of normal. Anyone investing in a prayer loan would be better off with your product. D-Ro, I have LTV with my small pool of paying customers. Felix Anderson, thanks for sharing this information. This helps tremendously. Yeah, there's many people who start building courses. They start with the platform. They'll start with building out the courses, and they don't even know who they're going to sell to. They're just like, I'm going to use paid traffic on this course. I'm going to go to Facebook. I'm going to create a lookalike audience, and then they throw a lot of money at it, and they don't make any sales. There's an audience, and there's an engaged audience. It's like what I call what you want. Everybody here, yeah, we're going to get freaky. Everybody in here, if folks are going to tell, everybody in here who had a one-night stand that didn't include alcohol, put a 10 in the comments. Everyone that had a one-night stand that did not include alcohol or drugs or anything, where you met somebody and the chemistry was just like, bam, and y'all were fucking, put a 10 in the comments. Let's see. David, I had my problems on Fiverr with first-time users who wanted more than what the cheapest gig offers, but repeat customers often bought extras. I had one lady that hired me 2 or 3 times a week, and she would tip. I can tell you why. Once you find someone that's good and you know how Fiverr works, because like I said, good people will not stay on Fiverr long. It's just like you find them, you're like, okay, what else can I throw at this person? Because I come back 6 months from now, they may not be here anymore. Let's see. Yo, eBay, how's it going, Glenda? Do you have any books you sell on Amazon? And go to Amazon and put my name in. You'll find out what's there. One of the things, and that's really a good point, is when you develop a traffic source, you don't want to send your traffic to a site where they can buy other stuff. This is what happened, and this is one of the reasons that I started doing things really differently. When I wrote my first storage auction book, I'm just a data junkie. So I was on Amazon and I saw my competition. There was maybe 2 or 3 books about storage auctions before mine was on there. And I noticed something, that when I directed a lot of traffic to Amazon, everybody's ranking went down. So if you understand Amazon, the lower your ranking, the higher your sales, the higher your ranking. So if your ranking is like 1.8 million, you ain't selling shit. If your ranking is like 300, you're selling hundreds, if not thousands of items per day, right? So I noticed everyone's rankings would just go down. Then I was like, wait a minute, am I sending traffic to my competition? And I saw this comment, and it was on one of my books, and it was like, hey, instead of buying this Glenda's one book for 30, 40 bucks, whatever it was at the time, buy all of these other ones. And I was like, holy shit. So immediately I stopped putting stuff there. I started directing my traffic to my blog, and I stopped directing traffic to Amazon. My sales quadrupled. So that's just my experience. I'm just sharing that with you because I have a really different take on this stuff. But I was just like, damn. So if you got books on Amazon, one of the things we're going to do, because I hadn't put it together, but I'm going to show you how to pimp Amazon in terms of getting traffic away from Amazon. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, but I haven't. Let's see. David 10, Lamode 10, T10, retract, that's funny. Quasm 10, 10, Charlatan 13. All right, here's the reason I asked that. There's sometimes you'll go out and you'll meet someone and the chemistry is just, you can go look and you're like, yeah, we're gonna do this, right? Very high engagement. That's what you want. You want as many people who get maybe half that engagement. They don't have to be that full, but that's what you want, because you're just going to get better outcomes and better results. Whereas if you do a lot of marketing, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter, you're on YouTube, and you have all of this quote lukewarm stuff. It's like they know who you are, they follow you, but they're not really engaged. They're there, they looks good, but you're not really making money from this tribe. And this is one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of social media people. A lot of them still have jobs, or, and this is just me, my opinion, there's a reason that a lot of them are hot, because there's some who live on their own, but typically when you just start creeping on their Facebook, and you find the boyfriend has a real nice job. Once again, There's nothing wrong with that. If you are in a relationship and you've got a partner that will support you while you build a business, more power to you. Fist bump. But you're saying that social media makes all this money, but you need the assistance of someone to help you live. To me, that's a little incongruent, you know. And once again, I'm like, hey, if you got someone in your corner like that to help you like that, that's a wonderful thing. But when you're telling people that, hey, this is how I make money, but if that significant partner disappears, you're moving in with the rents, you're moving in with the parents, or you're living in the hood, that's a little intellectually dishonest to me. Felix, course templates, the setup has been an issue. Finding the right platform has been an issue. We're going to talk about, here's something that nobody really wants to well, how do I answer this? If your marketing is on point, I got to be careful. Like, okay, let's say Gumroad. One of the reasons I stopped putting stuff on Gumroad is Gumroad did not handle all of the content that I was putting in. Sometimes we have stuff out of sequence because it just wasn't built for what I was doing. Gumroad is still good. It's great, but it wasn't built. But Gumroad, any platform that you could put a course on and send traffic to it, and it's not automatically going to cipher to someone else. I would not do paid traffic to Udemy. There's no fucking way I would do that. I hear people do it. I think that's insane, because what's going to happen is you're going to send your paid traffic to Udemy and other people are going to benefit. To me, that is insane. That's why I will not, you know, there's people who send paid traffic to Amazon. Amazon is so against you because when you go to Amazon to buy something, they will show you everyone else's stuff that's at a cheaper price. That's just crazy. I wish, Benjamin. 10, 10, 10, 10. Felix, your Amazon by Amazon helped me realize I didn't need them. I sent them straight to my site. Thanks to you, man. I appreciate that. I mean, this is something I lived. I was sending traffic to Amazon and I was benefiting other people to my own detriment. That's problematic. And like I said, I mean, in some of these videos I talked about, I mean, it was just like someone turned the money faucet on when I stopped, because I used to send traffic straight from here to Amazon. Like, hey, get my book on Amazon. And then when I made that adjustment, whoo, it was like, damn, that was nice. So once you learn how to build an audience, and it doesn't really matter where your stuff is, you can make money. There was a 2-year period, I didn't even have websites. And then people used to make jokes because I had a Facebook group I made a lot of money on. And essentially it was just doing the video, sending them to the checkout page. And that's something I've been doing for years and years and years. The new thing is, because the platforms are like this, it's like, wait a minute. We don't like your kung fu. You're sending people off the platform. That's a problem. That's a big ass problem. So what happens is, because I just turned this channel around, YouTube was like, dude, we like you and stuff, but you keep sending too much traffic off, so we're not going to give you the recommended videos. I mean, this stuff in the last 2 weeks just started to happen again because I've been doing these live streams. So thanks to everybody that shows up for these live streams, because you helped turning this channel around. You got to play part of the game. And I'll just tell you what I'm doing. Live streams gives YouTube what they want. YouTube wants you to be on the site as long as possible, session time, engagement, watch time. But hey, check out this. I got this special. Go grab it. And what a lot of you do, you go grab the special and come back. So you're leaving the platform, but you're coming right back. Or some of you, if you're watching on desktop, you'll buy the thing and not even leave the stream. So I ain't figured out a way to make money here on YouTube while still increasing the channel, while still doing what I'm doing. So that's kind of the new wrinkle. That's why I'm not doing any static videos right now, because once the channel, and when I say static, pre-recorded videos where I just upload them, once the channel's back, I can do that again. But the way that this channel was hit of the new algorithm, that wasn't gonna work. What do you suggest for business course? Be more specific. Izzy Tavares, what's the best online payment merchant? Gumroad. This is really hard to. It's hard to say. They're all the same. Typically, Gumroad uses Stripe, and you get a bit of a buffer since it's Gumroad, but they're all the same. They all have these risk scores. And the minute that you scale up your traffic and you get past, like when I was launching Hustlers Kung Fu last year, I bumped up against a limit I didn't know I had. And I got an email from PayPal, and to their credit, they didn't do what they used to do. They didn't freeze the funds. I got an email. It's like, hey, give us a call. Gave them a call. The lady said, okay. And like 5 minutes, it was done. I was like, wow. So and here's another tip. If you have a PayPal account, you have not run a lot of money, and you do quote a lunch, call them first. Say, hey, I'm doing a lunch. My sales are going to be highly atypical. And I don't know what they're going to be, but just so they could put that in the notes so they don't shut your shit down. But see, you don't get this information from other folks because they've never gotten to their threshold. When you get in the list, a group with ballers, this is a common conversation. Oh God, Stripe shut me down. PayPal shut me down. Because these folks are like scaling up to 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 1 point some million in like a week. Yeah, when all of them see that much money coming through, typically everybody can do 20, 25 and under in a month and you'll be good. They won't mess with you, but 20 was a trigger for me. 50 was a trigger. 100,000 was a trigger where I get that email. So pretty interesting. Thanks, Benjamin. BT the Critter. Late coming to the live stream. Feel like I get left out on life. You're killing me. For info products, once again, it's pretty much all of them. Roosevelt, do you believe video and audio? A lot of my courses, I don't even have that much written text. People don't read video and audio. I think with Udemy, your course has to be mostly video, like something percentage. I forget what it is. Converts better, digested better. You can do your course 100% video and no one will be mad at you. So that's definitely the thing. Now, another thing with audience building is if you do this kind of stuff in the beginning, like you form a Facebook group and you got 12 people and you really spend a few months talking to those 12 people, you're going to learn a lot that can make you money later. You're not going to make a lot of money in the front end, which is the big problem with many people. It's like, I got to make money now, but typically, like as we're having this conversation, I already see that a lot of people want to launch online courses. They want to do it, but the thing is, the platform, if you're going to have a lot of content, Gumroad's probably not the place for you. They could have changed that. And let's say a lot of content, 20, 30, 40 hours of video in one course is a lot of content. 30 days to 2,500 has maybe 60 hours of content. That's a lot. D-Row, very true. Call Will first. Wells Fargo called me asking me what I was doing with Shopify. I'm going to tell you a little story. And this was with CreateSpace years and years ago. I was rolling at one point. I had moved the price of the book to $99. Now, this is what I was trying to do. I was trying to influence people not to buy on Amazon because even at $99, I only got like 40 something. I was trying to get them to go to my blog and buy it for $59.99. Now, here's another thing. Doing that is a violation of Amazon's terms of service. I did not know, nor did I get caught. I was selling a lot of damn books. I had it complete, you're not supposed to have it on Amazon for one price and on another site for a lower price. That's a big no-no. Another little thing I'll tell you. When you change the price of your book, and I found this out purely by accident. I had changed the price of the book and I had lowered the price, and there's this delay in the system. So I put in my dashboard, the price of the book was like 60 something, but on Amazon it was showing $99. People were paying 60 something, but I was getting paid the payout from 99. Also, when I switched it, I took a bath on some of those switches. But I noticed that my ranking for the book was going down, 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 down. But I noticed there weren't a bunch of sales in my dashboard. And I called them up, and this is what the rep said. She said, "Wow, you're selling a lot of books." Now understand, I was only selling a few hundred a month, right? But at $99, it's a lot of money, right? And she was just like, "I've never seen an independent author sell this many books." And like I said, it's just a few hundred. So I tell you that a lot of people don't sell a lot of books. They don't sell a lot of books. So she went on and on. Then later on, I got this adjustment in my dashboard for like 12 grand because to Amazon's credit, they realized something, they just weren't set up for people selling a lot of books independently outside of Kindle. They just weren't set up for it. So they did pay me my money. It came a little later. But what if I had needed that money? That was something that bothered me. It really, really bothered me. And to this day, I'm still I got to have my money. So everything I have set up is I'm getting paid when they get paid. I get paid because there is no day. Felix, man, I just want to buy you lunch for some of this. Appreciate it. Let's see. D-Row, we also think we all need to contribute to Lyndon's lunch fund. He transformed my mindset drastically. I really appreciate that. So true. Michael Schmidt. Chase called me for the same thing, actually. They kept freezing my damn account because of the crazy daily deposits coming through. All right. How many people online talk about this? That should tell you something. We have Michael Smith, who's experienced it, D, who's experienced it. When you make a lot of money online, that's a typical behavior to a lot of payment processors. Because here, I'll just go ahead and explain the whole merchant account thing to you. PayPal is a merchant account. It may not become, it's a merchant account. Chase, Amazon Payments, all of these are merchant accounts. They all have this thing that's called a risk score. And typically they may not tell you because you got to give them your social, right? They're going to run your credit. And typically, if you have bad credit, you're going to have a lower risk score than someone rocking an 800. This is why I keep saying you got to have good credit, because even when they don't check your credit for credit cards, mortgages, cars, car loans, they still check your credit and you get ganked. So you got a low risk. You got a low risk score. The minute you start making money, you're going to hit that really quick. I remember when we had our merchant account with Bank of America. We had two, Bank of America and this other one. Now with the Bank of America merchant account, there was no limit. My partner opened that one, and I remember she had an 800. Because I remember the lady, because we were there at the bank doing it, and the lady's like, "Wow, I don't see many of these." She said, "With me," she's like, "The credit score is 800. Wow, I hope to have this one day." So she had that 800, and we ran millions of dollars to the account. Never got limited. It's kind of funny. Back in the day, they had this thing where they would like put the funds, as long as sales happened before 8 p.m., the funds would be in your account the next day. That used to be the old merchants accounts. You wouldn't get your money for 3 to 4 days, sometimes 5, right? I remember in a forum, a guy was like, "You got to have your money like the next day." I'm like, "Fuck yeah." What is this? The customers got their product. Why is the bank holding on to money for 3 to 5 days? That didn't make any sense to me. So we did that, and a lot of them have come around to that. But from having, various merchants accounts and talking to people, because when you go through the old school merchant account thing, they'll tell you on the phone. It was just like the lady was like, "Okay, this is your limit." Like with one that I set up, our monthly limit was 150. And the lady told me, "If you go across this limit, your account will be frozen. So if you see yourself getting close, call us." Now, I had a month where I had 148 and I knew one more charge and someone's going to put this call up. And then they I had to reapply. They took me through the whole process again, checked my credit, all this other stuff to bump the limit up to 250. So, all this stuff about, I love Dave Ramsey, all this stuff about, "Oh, you don't need good credit." I'm like, bullshit. Even if you don't use it, even if you just get some credit cards, you got good limits, run a cup of coffee, get gas here and there every now and then, and keep them paid off. You need that stuff. You got to have it. Michael Smith, are you going to make a Shopify plus Facebook ads course, or will it be different? Came late, sorry. The e-commerce course, just put this out there. Everybody buys Never Broke, the Never Broke Action Pack, which is only $149. I'm going to give you $450 off the e-commerce course. We will be using Shopify. We'll be using our own website. The reason we're going to use Shopify, when you have an e-commerce site and you use WordPress and you use these plugins, long as your traffic's not high, it'll work. It'll work. I mean, yeah, but the minute you start throwing some real traffic at it, that shit's going to break because it wasn't designed for heavy traffic. Here's the big secret of the internet. And a lot of these products are designed for casual users because they know that 99% of the people who buy WordPress plugins, they're going to be casual. They're not going to get, they're going to be between a few hundred hits a month up to 40, maybe 50,000, with 40 and 50 being the high side. So this is what this stuff is built for. So the minute that you start throwing some real traffic, you run yourself a good paid campaign, and you got like 200,000-300,000 hits going to that site. It's coming apart, Captain. It's coming apart. It's boom, shit's blowing up because it wasn't designed for that. So it's going to be different. We're going to use Facebook. We're not going to use Facebook ads initially. This is something that I have learned, so I can't really talk about it because you'll see the benefit early 2017 because this is a technique that I'll be using to boost this channel more. We're going to use video marketing and content marketing because this is the thing. Once you pick your product, you've picked your profit. There are some things that sell better than others. So we're going to talk about the audience. We're going to talk about the products. We're going to talk about sourcing. We're going to talk about traffic. It's going to be a complete system on how to find your product, market your product, and set up your website. Now, Shopify is built up where you can throw whatever at it. You can throw whatever at it, and it's just not going to break. So that's the thing. Free Parking Investment LLC. Do you believe it's better to have a private label product or a private label of product or just resell a product in the natural soap business? This is where we're going on the internet, people. You to resell, because the efficiency of the internet has made it easier that a lot of these companies don't need you to resell their stuff. So they can sell direct, be just as efficient or even more efficient, and don't have to pay you anything. So right now, Amazon, because someone had to put me on this, Amazon is suing people for selling stuff that they're not authorized to sell. And the reason they're suing is because these companies are suing Amazon. Amazon has a lot of money, but you get 20, 30, 40 companies suing your ass. That's not good for business. And I don't care how much money you come, it's a problem. It's a problem because what that does is shakes customers' trust, and Amazon's built on customer trust. And that's why Amazon's like, hey, you helped us get here, but you got to take the L. Sorry, Brian, you got to take the L. With these products, you got to be real careful because even if you have your own website and you're selling something, if the not the lien holder, but if the rights holder of that product comes to you and says, you got to stop selling it, they can make you. And if you want to be obstinate, they can go to your internet service provider and they can pull down your website. It's like this person's in violation of our copyright, your site's gone. So yes, you're gonna see a lot of this because there are people who feel that I paid my money, I bought it, and I'm gonna resell it. They don't understand the rule of law. These companies can't stop you from selling that stuff. Used, they've already addressed that in the Supreme Court, I think. Lamar, are you still having that meeting in Georgia? Nope, I'm not having any meetups. Not right now. They probably won't come until after next year. Izzy, thanks for knowing. Your income will be capped by the merchant account and you lose a lot in sales. Well, your income will be capped by your product line. Like, let's get a little social here. And when I mean social, I'm talking about society. Most people don't ever leave the social strata whether it's you're poor, you're lower middle class, upper middle class, what I like to call a fake ass middle class, or rich. Typically, what you're born into is what you're going to stay the rest of your life. The way that you set up your business and the products that you set up, if you come in a certain way, you start making money, you may be accustomed or grandfathered in or addicted to it, and that's where you're going to stay. So your profit is in what you start selling. Like take Trump. Family business is real estate, multi-billion-dollar industry, well, multi-trillion. They're rich. He's born rich. He's going to die rich. You take Sambu, who came from Ethiopia. He scraped up some money. He owns a convenience store. You know, after fees and stuff, he only makes 50, maybe 60 grand. But compared to life in his country, he's balling. I'm like, I'm Sambu the baller. What? My kids have separate bedrooms. What are you talking about? If we were back in Ethiopia, we'll all be up on the floor of the hut. So that's some stuff you have to think about. David Boyd, I was a banker at Chase. We wouldn't find out at the branch that a client's Chase account or their debit card had problems till the client called when they found out that the card was blocked by surprise. Chase probably, I've got a Chase Sapphire. When I first got it and I was using it heavily, that sucker got shut off like 6 times. And I just called them and I had to call them. They're very much on that risk tip. Clients rarely had any upfront notice for nope. Or business checking. You got to know who you're dealing with. T. Leah, I'm in the Atlanta area. If you want to discuss your accounting needs. T. Chess, I already had those courses for our Hustlers Kung Fu founder. No. I've ended that. What happened was people were kind of getting addicted on getting courses. I'll be clear. Everybody who bought, because I just created the action pack this month. Everybody that bought it this month, because I got track, I know who bought it. You will get the $450 discount on the e-commerce course that's coming. So yeah, I mean, I can't keep giving, you know, it's like for a long time, I was this restaurant that you paid once and you got to eat every day. It's closed now. You eat every day, you pay every day. You eat, you pay, or you go. Kyle, look, I'm not. Some people are just stuck on eBay or Amazon. They don't want to create their own customer base. Any advice? Nope. Leave them alone. Leave them alone, because what's going to happen? All right, this is what's going to happen. The internet is starting to become crowded, right? Amazon has, I believe, 2 million third-party sellers. And if the old 80-20 rule or the Pareto rule comes into play, probably 20% of them are making 80% of the money for Amazon. So in theory, they don't really need that other 80%. And all of these rules, you're having to pay to sell a product, all this stuff is just raising the standards to whittle out the weak. It's their Six Sigma program. They're just not calling it that. It's just things become competitive. They're getting pressure from brands. They've got sellers who are not really customer centric. So they're just, those folks, sooner or later, they'll feel it. Regular cops, when FFB be very similar since you're using visual and targeted methods? Here's the thing with doing video ads versus Facebook ads. Facebook ads, you can do video ads, you can do text ads, you can do image ads. With video ads, once you create, let's just say you create a video ad on YouTube and you rank that video ad, right? That ad makes you money. It doesn't disappear. With Facebook ads, and once again, be really clear, the video ads on YouTube are not as dialed in as the Facebook ads, but due to the fact that you can get them to have an extended lifetime, it more than makes up for the lack of targeting, because you hear people who say that, they're making all this money, then they stop spending. Like, well, if you're making all this money and if you spend X amount of dollars, why do you stop spending? Because someone else is bidding on those keywords, and now your margins are starting to slide in the wrong direction. So that's going to be a big, big thing, because if you do a video ad on YouTube, or, I like to call Steph content marketing, you get that video ranked, you get subscribers, you get people recommended, and you get new customers, and you don't pay anymore. That's the huge, huge difference. Amazon equals your wings about to get clipped. Yeah, we cancel all those cards. Is he terrorist? I hear Amazon's not accepting new FBA accounts. I heard that you can't open up a new FBA account in fourth quarter now. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. If there's some Amazon folks in here, please chime in. But I did a whole series of videos called No eBay, No Amazon. And I predicted all this stuff. Why? There's not, I know this will sound crazy, there's not an unlimited amount of customers for Amazon. Amazon has fully half of the internet's e-commerce traffic. Half. That within itself is a staggering accomplishment. Now, with that said, there's a lot of people who are coming after those customers. There's a lot of people who want a piece of that action. So Amazon's going to, they're the leader. They're clearly the leader, but they're going to have some serious challengers. And Amazon's a smart company. They typically do stuff in advance. So what's that thing when the ship is about to sink or something, they just start throwing human beings across the board? It's like jettisoning baggage. Hey, as a Punk 877Z said, Amazon equals your wings about to be. It ain't a peace sign. But yeah, it's part of the thing is it's hard creating a company. It's very hard. It's hard creating a successful company. That's just reality. Amazon gives you tremendous leverage. It does. It's just, I know what ultimately happens to most people. It's just, you'll find yourself working harder for less money. And that in nobody's mind just really adjusts to that well. No one's mind does. Now there's people. All right. So just to be clear, so someone brought it up, I don't even have that old email address anymore. So if you're not on the new email address, or you're not on the new streams, you're not even going to know about this new e-commerce course that's going to drop early 2017. You won't even know. And I'm cool with that, because here's the thing, what I've learned, and this is something that I've become really, really good at over the years, of selling quickly. 30-day email campaign, 60-day email campaign, 90-day email campaign. They work, but you have to be diligent about putting them together. You have to build your audience the correct way. You have to build your list the correct way. I've sold, $10 products up to $10,000 products using video, just like this. So part of the course is selling fast, building a relationship, but also selling fast. And, once we get into it, you'll see what I mean. Because typically people who will spend money faster are going to be your long-term customers if you treat them right. And you got to start thinking of this, instead of getting the sale, how to facilitate sales. You want to bring one customer in, and then to create a situation where over the lifetime, that customer gives you 10 grand. Then you add another customer, and you keep, and then you'll reach this level where your income is just going to like, bam. But if you're doing, and that's one of the things I hated about the storage auction business, it was always one-off. That's something I hated about commercial office furniture business. It was one-off. It's like, hey, we got this big project, we need this furniture, boom. Then after that, cold calling. But when you create environments and situations where customers, Amazon, I have no clue to how much money I've spent on Amazon. I know at this point it's got to be over 200 or 300 purchases, if not more. I haven't kept up with it. There's just certain things I would buy. Batteries, protein, just certain things. It just made sense. Other things, it makes sense to go to the store and get it. James Scott, has anyone had any positive experience selling books, Kindle books on Amazon? I can tell you Amazon Kindle ain't what it used to be. I have books on there that I get a check from every month, but I don't promote them. I don't bring them up because I'm not trying to send traffic there. But from talking to friends who were making 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 60, 80, 100 grand a month, the people who were at the upper echelons, their income got cut, but you know, you're making 30 G's a month, you still don't have to go back and get a job. But a bunch of Amazon Kindle authors had to go back to work. This is what they did. And I mentioned this in the group and I got beat down, really, really beat down. I said Amazon was going to figure out a way to pay authors less. I thought they were going to monkey around with the 70, 30% percentage. No, 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 no. Smart company, very, very smart company. What they did is, if people don't read your book, you don't get paid. But here's the science on that. 90% of the people who buy a book don't read it. This is long before. So what they did is use something that was scientifically proven and made it a business leverage device, knowing that they were going to win. I was like, damn, that was cold. True, no accounting fourth and no toys. I mean, seriously, you got somebody who's been on Amazon from January, duking it out during the slow months, doing what they needed to do. Then here comes Johnny. I want to make a lot of money fourth quarter. Also, there's something else with fourth quarter. And for the first time fourth quarter Amazon folks, your returns are going to be out the ass. They're going to be out the ass. So typically on that, I think that's if you're in the Kindle Unlimited program where you get paid per pages. But if you're not in the Kindle Unlimited program, they don't push your book. So I don't make a lot of money from my books. I don't even know, 6, 7 books in one category. On another Kindle account, I've got like 20 something, but I get money, but I don't promote it. I don't bring it up. So to me, that's true passive income that, hey, every month I get these disbursements from Amazon. And, you know, if you're selling books in other countries, it's like, damn, every little country you get like a different disbursements, because I get some of these weird amounts. But for it to be a full-time income, I wouldn't trust it. I just wouldn't. How in the world is that fair? Someone purchased your book, but Amazon doesn't pay you because they didn't read it. Ain't about fair. It's their platform. They can do whatever they want. That's why I stopped pushing my books there. I mean, people thought I was crazy. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on a second. Because there was a big uproar about it. I don't know. Maybe they changed it. Like I said, I don't really invest. Kindle paid. Let's see. What's the phrase? Kindle payout. Pay ounce by page view. Like I said, I don't really invest a lot of time there. Yep, here it is. All right, hold on. Let me show it to you. Because, you know, I know people are thinking like, what the hell? This can't be real. Yes, Virginia, it's real. It's very real. So let's see. All right. What is the amount paid per page? I understand the new pay per page format updated on July 1st. This was 2015. But what I'm not understanding what the amount is per page. I heard figures of $1, 10 cents, 5 cents. If the book costs $5, I don't think they're going to pay you $1 per page. As already noted, we won't know until August 15. I can see no way that the Kindle Fire Illustrated books won't be totally devastated by this method. Most 5-year-olds children's illustrated books are around 30 pages long because of the major time. This is let's see if we can find something recent. Amazon just announced this critically important change to where authors are paid for titles borrowed through both Kindle Unlimited and Kindle Online Lending Library. So there's a lot, but yeah, just to show you that I wasn't just talking out of my ass there. I mean, when it happened, I wasn't worried because I wasn't making my money there anymore. I was just like, man, that's horrible. You know, I had a lot of friends who were devastated by that. I mean, this is, I'm telling you, you know, people, this is one of the reasons that I don't have a lot of affiliations and I don't do joint ventures with people, because so many things are interlaced that, you know, if I was hooked up with certain people, I couldn't tell you what I just told you without messing up the relationship. James, with Gumroad, you still need to move traffic. Yes. Jim, I spend money with you in 2000. Here's the thing. Let's say I owe 80,000 in student loans. If I had 300 to play with, how would you start? I'm just going to go ahead and give you this. You need to go ahead and sit down with a sheet of paper, and you need to find some kind of service business you can stick with, car wash, lawn service, and you need to go crazy, make as much money as you can, and burn that student loan as fast as possible. I mean, that'll be my advice to you, because you got to pay that. I mean, they will take grandma's social security if she co-signed on your student loans now. I mean, it's deep. James, I suppose this approach is to weed out crap content. That was put out, but like I said, I knew that they were going to cut authors' income years before they did it. Oh, let's see. Hold on, let me go back to anybody who wants to investigate this stuff. I'm working a corporate job right now, but I want the freedom. See, this is one of the big things that I think so many people have been seriously disserviced. Student loans are a form of indentured servitude, and they'll trap you for life. So that's the thing. You're going to have to get a business to really accelerate your income so you can retire that debt. It will haunt you until you die. I mean, it's just reality. Or you're going to have to do something very radical. So with that, I'm like way over, because I didn't mean to be here like an hour and a half, but you know, we really got into it. Let's see, where are we? Yeah, close to an hour and a half. All right, for those of you who are still here, this is the deal. This is everyone that buys the Never Broke Action Pack, which is $149.99. You will get $450 off the new e-commerce course. I'll be talking about that. So if you just want to go ahead and lock in your savings, hit that now. I'm making money, but it all goes to loans of food and rent. Dude, you're gonna have to you gotta accelerate. You gotta figure out a way to make an extra 2 to 3 G's a month on top of what you make to actually see that stuff move. All right, so be sure to get that, and be sure to share this video with someone you care about. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment when this renders. With that, I'm out.